Today I'm reviewing the KEF Q1 Meta bookshelf speakers in walnut. If you want to check current pricing or availability, it's linked below. I've lived with these on my desk and in a dedicated listening position for a mix of music, movies, and everyday podcast listening. This isn't about lab measurements, it's about how they behave in real rooms with real content. Let's set expectations early. These are not big floor-standing speakers with earth-shaking bass. If you're chasing deep low-end without a subwoofer, you'll notice what's missing. These are compact bookshelf monitors that work most naturally with a sub or in rooms where bass reinforcement isn't the priority. In practical use, the Metamaterial Absorption Technology, Meta, has a noticeable effect. When you settle in with music, high frequencies feel clearer and more relaxed compared with many small speakers. Cymbals, vocals, and acoustic instruments have texture rather than being sharp or etched. Over long listening sessions, fatigue doesn't build up the way it does on harsh setups. Midrange is where these stand out. I listen to everything from jazz trio mixes to vocal-forward indie tracks, and the center of the soundstage stayed coherent and inviting. That's a strength you feel rather than just see on a spec sheet. Voices and lead instruments sit in the room rather than being overly spotlighted at you. Bass in a pair of KEF Q1 Metas is controlled but limited. There's weight, but it doesn't dig very deep on its own. In context, that's typical for compact bookshelf speakers. Adding a subwoofer transforms the experience. You retain clarity up top and gain the depth that larger music or movie content deserves. Thermals and mechanical behavior aren't factors with passive speakers, but usability is. The binding posts are solid and accept a range of cable types easily. Placement sensitivity is real. A few inches out from the wall and slightly towing toward the listening position help tighten imaging. In tighter spaces, some care with positioning made a bigger difference than EQ tweaks. Compared with bookshelf alternatives in a similar price band, the KEF Q1 Meta leans toward refinement over brute force. Some competitors might deliver a touch more bottom end out of the box, but they often do it at the expense of treble smoothness or mid-range definition. The Q1's coherent focus makes ensembles and complex mixes easier to follow. Who does this make sense for? Music lovers who value detail and balance in mids and highs, small to medium rooms where large bass isn't essential, listeners planning to pair these with a subwoofer later, people who prefer relaxed treble and natural vocals, where they might not be ideal. Rooms that demand deep bass without external support, buyers who want all-in speakers without adding a sub, those prioritizing maximum SPL over tonal nuance. In everyday use, the KEF Q1 Meta feels thoughtful rather than flashy. They don't force you to chase detail, they let you hear it. That sense of refinement matters if you live with your sound system for long sessions rather than checking specs once. Check current pricing below and evaluate it against your needs.